And we are back live with the scrim itself.
Oh my goodness.
And I am back. Who is this against, do you know?
Iruka.
Okay, Iruka.
Is that Yoshi the same Yoshi I see on Twitter sometimes?
Yo, I know 4 Yoshis.
My lord.
Okay, let's see. Let's turn this down a little bit.
Every subset of Splatoon got a Yoshi, a Storm.
Okay, I will mute, and best of luck to all of you.
Thank you. Oh wait, whoops.
Oopsies.
They were waiting on one more.
Oh. Well, fuck 'em.
They can join up for the next one.
Yeah, just play this.
I agree fully with Luce. Just play.
Apologies.
Yeah, so we're going to start
Alright, sorry,
the
shit together now.
Did you say 5th or 4th? Because I probably zoned out.
live
Yeah, that's
scrim review.
I thought you said 4th.
Some may call this coaching even.
I think it's just like default for Splatoon to be waiting on your 4th.
Yeah. Do you remember that tournament called Waiting on Our 5th?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna replay.
That's fine.
Like just end the game and then I think all they said was we can ready up, so.
I don't know. It's late and I'm tired.
We will be playing with that. Like,
Okay, just immediately with this comps,
that's what I was saying.
you have a junior which paints well.
Oh wait, what?
You have a Luna that can't paint for itself for its life. You have a Forge which can't paint for itself for its life. And you have a Charger which can't paint for itself for its life.
Enrique!
So I wonder how Toasty's going to be actually painting here to support against a Splash, another Splash, and a Junior, which all paint really well. And then a Machine which paints decently. So honestly, pretty good control here, being able to push them back just with your range and relative aggression. But Corky's still trapped in this corner because there's just very little paint around here. Gets outranged by the Machine. Honestly, I think Toasty was just needed in 2 places at once there, on right to help with the push, but also on left to help paint for Corky, and never really was able to get that paint. So that was a big part of that. Now we're seeing a Crab over here. Corky moves in a bit alone, gets a trade, which isn't bad, honestly, since the rest of them had moved back to mid, but you didn't know that quite yet, so overall decent. Toasty's just getting as much pain as possible. Unfortunate Booyah death. But yeah, Toasty's making a lot of space on left, but it's going to be taken immediately because no one's taking advantage of it. Why is Loose on right? They should probably be on right with Toasty because he's the only one that's actually painting here. They need to make use of his pain. Finally dropping down. Unfortunately, yeah, you heard that they weren't quite aware of what's happening on right. Oh, but that's a bad Booyah. Just has to use it on themselves. Still able to survive, but not going to be able to do much. I cannot see anything with this. Okay. And with Toasty respawning, there's almost no pain in mid for Corky to work with. Yeah. Luna's just unfortunate. There are a couple of spaces that it works really well on here. We're seeing the Crab, they're still backed up into the spawn for the most part. I think good painting here, just trying to get your specials. I think bombs aren't all that needed for Loose as much as they are Booyah Bomb. Corky needs to make use of this paint while they can. They're playing really passively. Okay, good still active? What? Huh. Okay.
They're wondering that
I wonder if Doom could move on left side just to make use of the paint and let Toasty move around a bit more safely. Toasty's making use of Doom being on right now though, so makes sense. So I don't know about taking profit here because just you didn't quite have full control. They were moving back in. Your location's known. If you get up there, then the crab will kill you. Okay. Your location's still known. This is so unsafe. Okay, so how are they able to push out of this and into mid? They have bubble, but that's not really a push-in kind of special. Neither is back. Something that the team would be able to capitalize on, but I feel like maybe Explosion would be better here, honestly. Just because, but that's talking a bit too much about the comps. How are they actually playing this? I need to focus on that. Toasty's teammates are all on left side. I think where Toasty is actually able to paint is very important here. Okay, they got him with a stamp. That was really good. Unfortunately, that special's right after. They used 3 just to get in there, and weren't able to get any picks. Yeah, Toasty needs to live here if they want to push him. They've gotta have his paint.
There's someone in my home.
I think the bubble was a bit too forward. There were still 3 up there, so I think having something else to push them back for a minute would have helped. Stamp is an option, Booyah is an option, but also neither of you can really paint quickly enough to get that. Especially after you just use it to do the previous put. They gave you space, granted, but... And then they flanked. That was unfortunate.
What a map.
I hate this map.
I also hate this map.
I don't understand how it's pushed on it. Like taking control of right and left mid.
I know how you can push with paint. Unfortunately.
Or not, that's a joke.
And what flavor of charger we play?
I mean, honestly, the weapons with crab that are generally used, so dually or splash, they have a bit more paint that y'all can work with. I saw there were a couple of times Corky got cornered or Luce got cornered because Toasty can only be in one spot at once. And he's having to paint for not only a Charger, not only a Pro, not only a Luna, but all 3 of them.
Could slap Zimmy on the comp. Double bubble or we lose an interruption.
Who will be playing Zimmy?
Me.
I see.
They said that they're not doing no show, so
Bruh.
No way. And also, with Luna and Pro, you don't get your specials that often because your paint output's just a bit less. So you have to be really careful and make sure you get a lot out of your specials. I think the idea of Stamp, Booyah, and Bubble, it almost worked. There just weren't really any picks that were gone from it. And I think if they were staggered a little bit more, or knowing that Corky was about to pop a Stamp and throwing the Booyah behind where they were going to back up to,
Yeah.
something like, and then the Bubble if they try to move up forward. That was the main time that I saw you all push. After that, you tried to push again with the bubble. 2 of you died to the bomb, but really there were 3 up front that you still had to deal with, even if the bubble caught up. And you needed to push them back first with some special, and Bat can't really do that. But I do think you might be able to be a bit less conservative with Inkvac if you're able to call it out, and make sure that either Corky or Luce are able to capitalize off of it. Because with so little paint, you really want to be able to get in with Vac. I don't think on Clam Scorch it's something that gets you out of disadvantage. It's something that you sort of walk forward into on right side. But you don't necessarily need to do that at the basket. You can do that like in mid even.
Yeah.
Just to make a lot more space. So I didn't really see Vac used much. I don't know if it was used at all. But yeah, I guess one last thing, Toasty, if you're painting up front and there's no one around you, like not Corky or Loose, call out someone to be there, because I saw a couple of times the opponent sort of just took the space that you painted immediately after you painted it, and if you had some like aggressive weapon there as well as a junior, then it would be a lot harder for them to retake it and you could claim space. But if it's just a junior, a splash can slowly push that out with chip damage, so two of them especially. So I think you all got this, and best of luck.
Wait a sec. Where's that?
On TC? Okay.
Why not on TC?
I was thinking mini.
Mini?
Yeah, because
Like
that's... No, don't play mini, don't play mini.
This man.
Well, on this map I have the image of you playing mini. So I was like, no, don't play down on TC Museum. But if it's not, then that's okay, I think.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I think Museum's a map where less paint
wanna
isn't
drop
necessarily a bad thing
Right?
here.
Yeah.
They can't hear me, by the way, just because it doesn't quite need paint. Like mid is sort of wide, but once you start pushing up, there isn't that much to paint, and it's really about range. So well, range and dealing with top right, which they definitely have the tools to do that if they have
Yeah.
if they have like a backliner to watch it, if they have Loose's range, if they have a bubbler on tower especially.
I'm going with Skull, and we're staying on top just to paint.
Just make sure that I have an escape route to left.
Yep.
Maybe I should be saying all of this while like actively turning them down. That would be nice. Yep. Okay, so Nautilus this time, and Machine paints better than Luna, so I like that. All of them are painting decent space. Good that Toasty followed up on Corky. Luce is just sort of poking here. Flingza wasn't watching them before. I wonder if they could have poked a bit more forward. This is a good off angle. Just try to call it out so that your teammates can make space with it. They're all very focused on the Booyah right now. Okay, good that Toasty took advantage that they were all focused on that. Toasty a bit too far back, especially with Luce pushing up. I think it was a bit unsafe for you to go there alone, but I think you could have been chucking bombs there anyways. Okay, good check. I think overall that was a good start to a push. Now what do you do with it bubbling back? Y'all were separated. The missiles capitalized on that, but... Okay, good jumps. I think just make sure that you're... Like, yes, you do need both of those spots, but if you push them alone, you're a lot less safe. So, try to do so, like, you have the back with you, you have the bubbler. Make sure that Toasty was on bottom right chucking bombs. I think he might have been able to climb up to help. Okay. Your Booyah's a win con. against their pushes. Try not to die like that. Unfortunate death with the back as well. Yeah, it's really just get specials here. Not much you can do. Good positioning with Charger, forcing them to have to lead first. But okay, good bubble. And good capitalization on that boost. I think y'all turned it back, especially with the positioning from your Charger. I forget their name, I'm so sorry. Ebolas. Just yeah, make sure you watch their respawns, since I think it might also be y'all pushed up a bit slowly, so they had a lot of space. Y'all are dying to missiles a lot. Okay. Flinks is alone here, y'all can rush it. Okay, good. You kind of do. You leave them there. Hello? Corky, you looked in the direction. You see them there? Interesting. You're all sort of in the same spot. Toasty should already be on the right side painting up.
One behind.
Okay, this is really good positioning. Just make sure you're not too forward and forcing yourselves to use all of your specials. Bubbler isn't really needed here because no one's on tower right now. You really need it for here to watch the Booyah. Okay, just get lead. That is so unfortunate. I think overall that was a really good push. Just the Booyah was a little early. Y'all pushed up really far, a little too early. Didn't really watch right as well, forcing the back to come out a bit late. Well, the back was okay. I think just Machine can't hit over it, so I think the bubbler was a bit early. Really just when y'all get a push like that, capitalize on it, yes. But there's just a little bit there that could be worked on. As far as timing goes, because the tower moves very slowly. It's not like Rainmaker or Clam where you can move as soon as you have it. You have to match its pace. But you are getting another push here, so. Oh, that's a bad death. Booyah's their win con.
Oh,
The bubble was under the spinner, and there was somebody on.
Oh.
Or this cover
Hey,
was
Al.
in the
Oh,
right.
someone DC'd. I think it was.
I think overall that was a lot better. Y'all capitalized on each other to get two really good pushes. Main thing is just disadvantage on that map. It can be tricky and especially easy to move in alone. Just remember, Corky, Enrique, your Booyah Bomb with Machine is your win con for stopping pushes like that. Getting trades is not worth it in any scenario. So I think a lot of you were just sort of funneling in, hoping to stop tower early. But that's a map where, as you saw, it's pretty easy to get past second checkpoint if you get a really good push. So it's just patience is the key. And yeah, Booyah Bomb, as far as your first push, it just seemed like you all were pushing in a little too early. With the like bubble on tower, I don't think that was needed until you were pushing past right side, because then it could have been a bit more time that the machine that was flanking had to deal with it, and no one was really on tower at that point. I think the second time you all pushed was really good. you capitalize on each other, and I like that Tosi went up with all of you. The first time he didn't, sort of just staying on bottom right, chucking bombs, and then Corky moved up on left side alone. Luz pushed up right side alone, and both of you died to missiles. But I feel like y'all were just sort of both not quite pushing the same area, and so it sort of fell apart because of that. Yes, you do need both left and right on Museum, but just make sure that you're taking one at a time. Or you have the like paint and aggression to be able to do that safely. Aside from that, I think that game was really good. You pushed to 18 twice, which is really good on that map. It's just defense on that map. Just try not to lose special. But overall pretty solid. I think yeah, played off of each other well. Honestly, I know you're gonna hate me saying this, but I do prefer Machine over Luna. It might work in clans a bit better as well because it does have a bit more range than Luna. And it works a bit better in mid where Luna sort of just can't do all that much. Machine can at least paint with the same sub weapon, and Booyah Bomb can help push out areas that Stamp might not be able to as well.
I will say
But
part of that was just like the first game in its group.
And like sports is just a map we just don't know at all.
that's fair.
And what you're saying right now is like completely true. I reflex, I can do everything except try hit you in range 6, but I hate good weapons, basically. They don't feel right in my hands, I don't understand how to work it, so I don't like playing it, but I can still play it.
Out of curiosity, why did you go Machine on Tower Museum then?
I play Machine mostly right now for the wave.
Okay. Okay. I think Machine's honestly like a good thing for you to use. But with this comp especially, I'm really sorry. It's just like Machine Paint's just a little bit better than Luna. And with a Charger and then Illusion playing Pro or Nautilus, y'all kind of need paint. It could also be a matter of like doing something outside of Charger, but I don't know.
Occasionally we get the button flips, but that's what usually.
Honestly, I think Expo and Scorch might work pretty okay since Rain can push aside that Tosi's not on immediately. And then it just paints a lot better than Charger. But I don't know. Good luck, by the way.
I need to rebuild my gear because I accidentally
I like the Siege Junior pick here.
It had like a gear, like it had some subs and then tomorrow morning because I have to wake up at 9 freaking Alright, game plan here. I'll be opening up on right with Skull, and you're gonna be going left with right. Sitting around left-ish zone. Left-ish zone. That's fine. Oh no, lol.
I think Tosi on right is good. Being able to paint for an early wave break.
No, well, I mean, like, if anybody DCs during that phase,
Oh.
everybody DCs.
Cool.
Same class.
Best multiplayer game 2022.
I think this one is just on Sned.
Is he soon. It's the same password.
Hello. I hate my house.
What's going on?
It seems like the plug socket is on, but it is now a different plug socket. Now I am back for reals. I don't know why people just mess with things in this house when they worked fine. I just want to play. Just want to play Splatoon.
Okay.
Alright.
Wait a minute. Equip.
Right opening with you.
Yo, I can change what I spectate
You'll
with.
go left.
This changes everything.
No.
What the? Why are you so slow? Come on. Oh my god, I cannot move here. Okay.
Bruh.
Cool.
What?
Who do you...
I am so sorry. I don't know what happened there.
Did you DC?
No, I said connection to the host lost.
Cool.
Wait, does that mean I'm DCing
No,
or?
I think Skull DC.
Oh,
Like, do you just want to play for now?
we could. Hello, Boeing. Yes, I am still going.
Okay.
Hello. I
Like,
hate
your cat? Oh.
everything about this.
I was poked by someone. Oh, hold on. Okay, just needed to mute myself from chat. I was poked by someone. Oh, don't see. Why are you on stream? Oh my god.
I think you should
But yeah, Toasty poked me saying, hey, before the scrim Rolling Squids is doing,
except it turns a tree off left.
they have a thing and then I was like, okay, I'll join your open room, which because that was the thing. I can't actually speak right now. It's like 10:30.
Apparently it's middle of the net.
But yeah, so after a few games of open, they got their fourth for scrim, and so I just spectated that for a few games. We went through 3 of them, so
Router's on the other side. For some reason, when the tree
yeah.
lights are on the wall, it makes the internet go
What are-
funny. Don't ask.
Is there a 4th weapon with crab, or is it just Splash Julia and Pro?
Oh, I didn't put the tree on. It also means the
That
lights
was depressing.
outside. Illuminated the neighborhood and the screen. Apparently it was like that yesterday on the learning. Because I had to go manually turn it on.
Okay.
Let's play the game.
Oh, they're actually okay. They're starting the game now. Nice.
Let's go.
Uh,
Baby Yoda.
okay. Same comm. Seems like it's pretty okay. Just need to watch for the hyper meta paint that the opposing team has. How are they with pop? Toasty doesn't go for pop, neither does Loose. They need to decide whether they're going for pop or not. If the entire team goes for it, they got it. They have 2 burst bombs on the other team. But no one went for pop, and so... Oh, that's a really forward way break. They can do something with that, but only if Corky goes up as well. Corky's playing really passively with that wave break. Nothing was gotten from that because of it. No picks. And then Luz still tries to go up with it, getting a trade. Honestly, okay overall. I didn't see how they got the 2nd pick, but I think good check, all things considered. That was very visible, the way that you moved. Just a nitpick. They're going to be moving right probably with this, so... I think at least someone should have went right. Honestly, probably Toasty, because his torpedoes are able to slow them down the most out of this. And then the machine and Not can pair pretty okay. Just on a full wipe like that, you really want someone to go right. They have Crab still back being held again. Dying with Booyah is really bad here. I don't know if top left was the best positioning for that. Because the machine and flings are able to poke from there, and they know exactly where you are. You're one of the main aggros here, so just keep that in mind, Corky. As far as the loose goes, bit disconnected from Toasty. Didn't even notice him going up like that. They could have punished that. They finally did, but okay, good. That was you had a bit of a charge. I think that rain, if you were going to charge for rain, you could have played a bit more passively until you got rain. I think you just noticed that you had rain and then popped it without really considering that the space you were in was unsafe. And holding your charge was a lot better there. Y'all are missile. What do you do with that? You held Booyah. Missile can break it or get very close to breaking it. Especially because you were the most forward one out of the team. I would have suggested just throwing it immediately, cutting your losses with a missile, and then backing up. Okay, 2 down. those were a lot of points that they got. Nautilus has a very short kill time. I don't know if you wanted to be looking away from Rainmaker like this. You could have been at a 90-degree angle to the right and had a bit more of an angle on them. You have Rain and Booyah to get back in. You have a pig. Okay, you use... Good call, honestly. I just wish the Rain came out without the call. Waybreaker next. You need to push up with that. The missiles behind you don't matter if you push up. Okay, that's enough on Lou specifically. Good pairing, Quirky, Toasty. This is a bit forward. Just, yeah, you weren't really able to watch that drop. That was, I think if someone else was watching it, it was okay, but you're a machine, and that's a place that's extremely valuable to be able to watch. Who's still up there? Jeez. Wow. After you got that pick, I would have suggested just backing up. Back up! You're going to die there. They know exactly where you are. Oh my god. They didn't punish you. They still let you be there. Wow. That... impressive, but shouldn't have worked. Your jump's safe, actually. But man, that was honestly kind of impressive, Luce. Minor nitpick with when you started pushing up again. The left and right. If you'd picked one, then you would have had one person shooting at you, and then they would have had 3. I didn't see how the rest of the push went, unfortunately, but I think the push to 22 was really good. If y'all wipe, make sure someone goes right. That's how they got the first checkpoint. I think... Yeah, I think, especially with the crabs, y'all panicked a bit, but it's mostly just like, as soon as you all respawn, having someone go right and then the other 3 go left. I think having Tootsie go right might be good, because he can pretty much solo an area defensively, and then maybe have someone go with him, if y'all are able to get back mid. But if you can't, then his torpedoes would give time for someone else to pair up. And then if they go left, then you have Fizzy Bomb, you have Nautilus, things that really pressure areas, the Charger as well. So, yeah. I think... I watched Loose for a lot of that game. I don't know how you survived on right. Like, something like that. But I do like Toasty and Quirky. I saw you all pairing a couple of times, and it was really good. I think that's a lot of how you got to 22, especially well, Luce's flank definitely helped with that as well. Like all of them looked back and just said, "Hey, who is this rat?" And it's not a brush this time, but
That is my skill.
Were you watching that Rainmaker push? Because I did end up going up on the wall to try and avoid, because I did see someone around the corner. I'm not sure if he was or not, or if I should have just stuck it on stuff and tried to get that.
I'm not gonna lie, throughout all of that, I was just watching Luce's point of view, so I didn't quite see that.
Okay, you playing that.
But the push through that grates is very pigeonholy. That is to say, like, it's very tight. And so, if you're wanting to push it a little bit, might as well go all the distance. I don't think it would have gotten you to 7 more points. Especially with Luce unfortunately dying on the flank.
Yeah.
Okay. But best of luck.
I'm gonna be opening it right again.
I like leader over charging here. Gonna watch Quirky. With Toasty, good. A bit too close to the splash, or a bit too close to the stack, I think. You could have afforded to be a bit further back because dying in neutral is kind of bad. Good pairing. Will you capitalize on this? They have right stack still. That's what you need to focus on. Being on left here doesn't really help your team nearly as much. Like, they're pressuring right side. You can capitalize on that. They were able to get the space and move up there because you weren't up front. Okay, this is good positioning. The other crab. You didn't the other crab. Crab is something that's like, it's important enough where I would suggest just putting the fully onto it. Honestly, really good positioning there. Even though y'all didn't get that many picks, you kept them back away from zone and forced back on right stack. So pretty good. Alright, how do you all... Okay, Rain comes up first. Good pick, Corky. Just make sure you don't drop too early. You have Booyah still. Going into fights like this is a bit risky. Then again, it does like get space, so it's fair. Just make sure you don't go into fights you can lose, which I don't think you did there. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, good positioning on right side. Tosi, you need to be with loose. They can't move right now. They cannot move. They still cannot move. You abandon loose. I don't... They would have gotten out a lot easier, or even been able to get a pick if you were with them. I think especially with Nautilus, it's important to just recognize when they're going to be pushing up. Take some comms, but it's something to keep in mind. Good pairing, honestly. Tosi did go down, but I think that was really good overall. It lets you get a pretty safe retake. I think Loose also being aware of where Toasty is would work really well, because right now they're pushing it low against an X-Blow. And if they knew that Toasty wasn't able to support them, then it could have more ability to push in, but actually, I see Tosi and Quirky pairing up a lot more than Tosi and Loose, and I feel like it should be the opposite. Machine can play almost solo, but it's a lot harder to do that as a Nautilus. You need paint around you. And it takes so long, and your position is nil if you have to paint like this. So I think having... Again, you rain before finishing the fight. Good cap. Wow, they didn't continue shredding you. That's... huh. Again, if Tosi knew Loose was there as well, he could have like just spaced out the knot, or spaced out the machine until the knot could finish it off. I don't think you, yeah, it's real time, just VOD review going. I don't think you really needed to go that way. Or I don't think you needed to try to poke at the machine, because it's able to pick you before you can pick it. But the Nautilus has more reach. Okay, good shred. Let's see where Corky is. Just jumps in. Still disadvantaged. You need Booyah. You need Booyah for this push. Do not go in, please. Thank you. Nope. Oh. You had Booyah, and you moved into a fight where there was a crab you could see. Man. There's only one alive, Loose. I think just trying to push up a bit further. Actually, no, waiting for teammates. I'm bad, don't listen to me. Okay. Good call. Good as hell call, Loose. And then, how are you positioning for this? I think Corky on the left and Loose. You're abandoning zone right now. You're abandoning zone. That was very risky, Loose. Just make sure that you're not, Loose. I want to say good job, everyone, on getting the overtime push. But Loose, make sure you're in a position where you can actually paint zone. If you like, especially in overtime like that, you cannot afford losing zone because you lose the game. And so I think like staying under left block would have been better.
Yeah.
And also I think I noticed one time you mentioned Tosi paint when Tosi just died. I think that sort of brings up a point I want. Yeah, it brings up a point I want to make. I think you and Tosi being aware of each other's positioning is probably the most important pair in your comp right now. Corki can function sort of solo. Machine can do that. It has the paint for itself. Nautilus kind of needs Junior's paint. Junior kind of needs Nautilus's aggression. And I think if you all pair a bit more, then like there was a machine that Tosi tried to pick off and died to that Luce later finished off.
Yeah.
I think that if Tosi would have waited there and knew Luce was around them, then it could have worked without Tosi dying. And there was a position where I saw Tosi also like moving back and sort of saying you have to back up, but that was after sort of leaving Luce alone. And I think you all just being on the same page of Tosi's going to paint for me as I push up, or we can't really do this safely, we're backing up together,
Yeah.
will be very important. Because I saw, it's just, you do not want a Nautilus to be painting, because its main strength is being able to hide in the ink, and be able to surprise opponents. But, I think Junior's able to be the poking mechanism that just lets you get in. That's the sort of theory behind this comp. So just make sure you're aware of each other's locations, or are calling, or like if you want Tosi to push up with you, mention that you're pushing up right, because that can be very important.
Yeah.
Or if you want to back up or just hold an area and you see the other person pushing up, say, just hold this area, I'm not pushing with you. That can be just as valuable. So I think your retakes were pretty good. Just make sure, especially Quirky, your Bia Bomb can be shredded, especially if there's a crab up. So make sure you're using that from a safe distance away from them. And you don't start a fight while you have Bia. Use Bia and then start fights. Because you dying with Bia Bomb, not even being used, can kill a push single-handedly. I think that's the main thing that I wanted to bring up. Yeah, best of luck. And also, good game. That was good overall. These are all like just nitpicks.
Yeah.
Probably C.
Yeah, Samsung. Duda.
Yeah, they have a charger, so torpedoes can help here a lot. But I mean, I could also see V Junior working here since Bubble is really good here. Yeah.
Toasty needs.
Yep.
Call out your position.
Echo, you ready?
Don't hold your back for 2 minutes, please.
Full special charge for things.
Oh my god. What the heck?
Okay. Yep, this is... Okay. I'm just gonna start watching them. Okay. You're hyper-focusing left. You hyper-focused left, leading mid, sort of. They saw you distracted, and were able to move up on your teammates. Just be wary that, your presence in mid is very important. As long as they're not actively shooting at you, which it was a junior, it doesn't have range for that. You don't need to give up your sight in mid. Nice avoiding of the bomb. You could kill this push with back. You could have killed this push 12 points ago with back. You're just holding it. Yeah, that could have let you get into mid much more safely, but I wouldn't recommend it now, but it's most important on right getting back in. Good pick. Nice. Good picks. I like that you're just pressuring mid a lot more with this, and pressuring them for doing the same, attempting the same thing that they did earlier in the game. Really nice. You're punishing them really well for this, honestly. Just don't hyper-focus, they're hyper-focusing the bubble still. Okay. Good super jump, Camp. I think that was really good. Many plus flash here. Wow, I just saw way overrunning. Yeah, Crab is very good. I like that you went back for claps immediately, but you still have bag. You still have bag. Little late, but I do like the idea. You needed one regular clamp for push, and I think if you were going to have someone grab, I think making sure that you use bag earlier in the push and then have other specials come up later while the backline would be best. Or, well, Charger can be okay on left, so forget I said that. Okay. So, just torpedoes here. You can paint a little bit more than you are right now. You have a tendency to abandon teammates. Good torpedo kill though. Good awareness that you're charging that as well. You're 2 down. You need to paint Perky out. Good pick. Good double. I think just, yeah. Making sure you know if your teammates are pushing, and that's a lot more important than staying with passive weapons. If a weapon's staying passively, then they're indirectly supported by everyone pushing up. But if they're pushing up, then they need your paint. Not as much in this comp, but still. Something to keep in mind. Wonder how... Good stand. Stamp's a bad special, no!
Echo?
Hey,
How do we deal with missiles here?
what do you mean deal with missiles?
They'll like, whenever they got popped, it just shut down everything because the map is so small. There's nowhere to go for 4 people.
Generally, yeah. With missiles, you have to give up a bit of space and just move backwards. Let's see. The time that they were popped when you all were pushing, I think you all were sort of already going down. The push was fading out and the missiles sort of finished the job. But I think on maps where you can't move to the side to avoid missiles, it's really just you have to give up space for it. I want to say really unfortunate stamp loose. I thought that was really good timing for it. It's just a bad special. Like, they were all there. They were all there. You should have gotten a quad from that. You should have gotten a quad. You dropped down. None of them were looking at you. And then trade. I think also on disadvantage, don't be afraid to pop back if you just want to start getting space, and like they're not directly pressuring you. They went from like 32 to 20, when I think that like the toxic mist effect of the vac could have helped with the sort of what is that called? The place, the like choke point, that they have to push through. I think that works really well there on both defense and offense. So,
Okay, we bet.
and also using it against just missile, has very limited help. I think for how long you were holding it, it could be something to initiate a push even. Since it does sort of invalidate the Flingza from really doing anything up front. I think overall you all paired much better though.
Yeah,
So, good luck.
I'm going left.
Oh, Founder's a map.
I'm so sorry.
This is gonna be interesting to coach. So starting on the left, the Fizzy Bomb shows them exactly where you are. You've got it back, yeah. You can't keep going there. They know you're there from the Fizzy Bomb. You can't keep going there. Going to like Trench might be good. Luce is just poking. I like the bubble. It lets you all poke much more safely. Those missiles were unfortunate. Just stay wary of them. Good. Fantastic pick. You need space in front of tower before you push it. Okay, good that Corky's getting that. And not, but... If you're not Sony's pain, don't booyah just yet. But I think it's more of a problem of if your teammate's going to booyah, don't push up just yet. Because you can still poke all of that area from a mid area. Or from mid-ish. This is a really good this is a great push, by the way. Good pick. Honestly, 26 was good on this map. That was pretty well coordinated overall. There were some mishaps, like the Booyah and Nautilus, but overall good. Okay, poking with bombs is fine here. The rain slows them down, but you're not actually taking space with it. I don't know if you're able to quite, because Toasty was just respawning. And no one really knew where you were throwing it, so maybe a call like, I'm raining, let's take space from this, or let's take space in mid, can help people know what exactly to do with the rain, instead of just knowing, okay, we have it out. I just love crab. Honestly, decent trade. That's what you can ask for there. Painting trench here might be useful. Trench and like up on the left, maybe. Just make sure if they're actively pushing tower like that, that your machine's with you. Yeah, being aware of that place that they can look over the wall can be very important. A little bit forward when you don't really have advantage. Actually, you have rain, so I think someone watching that would be good. I think Corky watching the trench, or even being in trench, would be really good as a bit more of a neutral. At least being on top mid, I know I can't do that much all the time, so it's just something to consider, like occasionally going into trench to pressure for from an off angle. You need pain around, especially on left. You can't push this alone. You can't push this alone. by dropping down, you're pushing here. You really need someone with you if you're going to drop there. And Luce is on right, and Corky's somewhere. Corky's a bit too afraid to push up, even though Rain's up. Rain's up and you have a bag that you can push with, so... That's really cooking. Then again, you don't need to push because... You don't need to push because tower's at 25. In that case, Toasty dropping was a bit of an overextension. It wasn't anything like game deciding though, so it's whatever. The bubble for defense. If you're going to back soon. Because that crab is going to be difficult to deal with. A fantastic pick. We also went con. And you didn't throw it at tower. You threw it at not tower.
This map sucks.
Honestly, fantastic push. The only thing that I could really say is, someone watching, like, their side of trench would be really helpful. I think Corky doing that with Machine Witch can overlook that really well. That would probably be good. I don't know callouts for this map. Hold on.
Understandable.
I don't either.
This map is stupid. I just call it, like, mid-trench zone and car park, which is, like, street. Aside from that, just call it left and right. But it's dumb. Let's see. So, like, sloshers, machine, weh.
School?
Do you want Forger Rune?
No.
Do you want this? Do you want another splatling? What do you want?
I was thinking mini. Do you remember the things Jeff was talking about on Breakout?
Yeah. I think.
Wait a minute. No, wait, this is remake. I was thinking TC. Like,
Okay.
It plays
I
very
think-
similar.
This shows me what I want. I'm gonna put this in a sub BC chat. But essentially going around there to flank on the wall can be flushed sometimes. It's more of a mix-up though. But being in trench lets you, or like watching trench, that could have avoided Emily dying to the flings at one point, since it came up the same way that the shot did on the wall.
Opinion on.
Shots just insert enemy weapon here, but opinions on what?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Echo, are you talking about for the push, or are you talking about like in general?
In neutral.
Okay.
In neutral. For the push, I saw Tosi trying to push, or trying to pressure on the left as well. I think Tosi painting there is really good. Don't drop down it unless someone is up there with you. I think Corky going that way can be really good. But it just depends on the situation, so right's definitely important to get if they are still on like that wall, so it's whatever. Good luck.
One right, machine.
Back to
Come on, left.
Decent trade. I guess it's what you can ask for against Gal.
Machine on
Good
left
pick.
side was.
You can get a lot of space here. Okay, good capitalization. You can capitalize off of this. They're 2 down. You can start pressuring snipe. You don't need to go in the block to pressure snipe. Spinners can. Their spinner is completely unpainted. You could have gotten that. That's something that can be really useful. Corky still doesn't know there's someone on snipe. Didn't even try pressuring it at first. That's really unfortunate. I don't mean to be so critical, I'm sorry. I think overall you got enough picks so that you almost got check. Knowing there's a bubble on right can help loose a lot there. To know to back up right instead of left. You could have jumped. There's that little place that Spinner reveals, either backing up with that wall or just jumping back and right. Just a minor minute pick. Yeah, just be wary of Machine's range there. If they paint your feet as not, you were dead. So. Also, yep. If someone in chat can just tell me whether, like, I'm audible over, everyone else talking, that would help a lot. Moving in alone without special. Decent pop, honestly. Good pick. Oh, dropping there low. Ugh. Knowing the... If you're the furthest person up, as a junior, it's very risky. Like, Nautilus does have more range than you, so it'll be poking, but in situations like that, you want it to be overlooking the defend. 2v1 there. Another 2v1. If your teammate goes down, just back. It's not worth it. As far as... I don't think the positioning was bad, necessarily. Just against Machine, it's bad. To be on the right there. Corky. This positioning is good, yeah. It was like a little bit far back, but good decision that like it doesn't really matter. Just get points and wait for Rainmaker to come to you. Oh my, nice. How are you covering them? Okay, you're on Stein, but you're not actually... Okay. I think you need to choose the same targets. You're choosing the same targets. That was... Okay, that was a good call. Just... I think initially when Luz said, I'll cover you, they were looking at Corky from 3 different angles. So, just be wary of that. Okay, that was nice. Good painting of this, just make sure they can't come from right. You can't go for check safely with the machine there. And you're alone there. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Just left is very pigeonholy. But especially that late in the game, losing a push like that sort of makes it lose the game. And yeah, you had sort of just died there. It's unfortunate.
Emily, Toasty, if there's someone by there, it's going to be a fail. We thought it was a little bit, just
I did call out that.
Okay, gotcha.
Junior moment.
That sucks, honestly.
Yeah, it does, because me and Iruka constantly got flamed.
I slept on.
If you're trying to go up for a team fight and one of you dies, at least like don't push up further. I saw that a time or two, and a disadvantage just to wait for special. I think you all were dying a bit too much and not actually waiting for special to come out. And so you're relying on your 1v1 potential I think you all go even in like mechanics with these people, but it's really just dying when close to special means that you'll have a while before you can have it in mid.
Yeah.
And on Rainmaker Sturgeon, that kind of hurts. Oh, one other thing. At the start, when you got 2 down, make sure you're pressuring their snipe and painting their spinner. That can be really helpful. It takes you all a while to decide that and to decide where slash if you were pushing. I think either you or Corky looking at that would be really good. But you all still got a pretty decent push from that. It just... Okay. I don't... Not necessarily up top, but if you're in mid, watch top. And like... I think Machine being on top is a bit better than not being on top for first check. And when you... Also, when you said, Corky, I'll cover you, I think, you would have been a bit... Like, you were able to get picks on all 3 of them there, but Corky was sort of moving in and getting shot at from 3 different angles. I think if you all were able to decide on a target, like if you were moving in from left side, then it would have been a bit more sustainable. I think I've just seen a couple of times where, like, there are 2 people in front of you and you can't really decide which person you're shooting at, and so you sort of try to shoot at both, killing neither of them. And I think especially when, like, being in a potential 2v1 like that, this is borderline meta. Just change the shot to a machine or splash. True, bestie. Okay. Go bubble for the crowd. Say that louder. Getting one like this after you pop bubble, after they pop crab, that's huge. You need to say that louder. Also, in situations like that, you can tell your teammates, hey, push up a bit, and then try to tank for them. There was an opportunity to take mid, but they definitely outpaint you in neutral, so you need to take advantage of every pick you get. That's a 2v1. Ink Strike is so bad there. I think it's specifically, like, it's something I'm seeing with, it's mostly a thing of, like, Ink Strike or Booyah or, Rain. If you have special and want to use it, don't start a fight before you use it, or wait until you win the fight before you use it. Like, this is a really good strike. Backing up and just keeping momentum with it. Good call out, who's saying going in, so Toasty can help you. You have Rain up in a bubble. This is huge. Say you're helping, Toasty, but really good. That was fantastic. Honestly, pretty decent bubble lets you stay in this otherwise unsafe position for longer. This is just a spawn count. Very nice. Yeah, solid. Very solid game. One thing I want to mention, it's happened with Loose a couple of times, and it happened with your Ink Strike Quirky. If you want to use special, either use it before you push in, or use it after you win the fight. Do not use it in the middle of the fight, please! Okay. I think that makes sense. But I think, Ink Strike, you saw how long it took for you to get out of that. I think your second ink strike to start it off was good, and then Luce's call out, you're going up with that is good. Saying you need help on left Corky, that was really good. Toasty helping out with that was really good. Just say you're helping. Just really good spawn camp. That was a really good game. I think I want to just drive home the point a bit more with Luce, with using Rain. If you're in a fight, you have part of a charge. If you use Rain, you have no charge, and so it's a valuable resource for Nautilus specifically. But yeah. Try Shark to counter Crab. It's mostly just, it can't go in the ink, so it's very unsafe. If you can pull it off, then yeah. But Crab has so much DPS that good luck getting a shot on it. Like, I think for your comps, T-Tech works really well because it actually paints. but, and like T-Tech's generally a good weapon, so is Slosher, the other main like ink strike. Even Rapid's pretty good. It's neat, but if you use it, it would have to be Yum playing it or Emily. Yes. Yeah. Also, I want to just apologize. A few of the like calls on VC are just sort of me like. It's mostly just me being sad, but I think it sounds a bit directed. So I apologize about that. It's mostly just like the individual fights I nitpick the hell out of. So
I think that's what
yeah.
we help with, is just like
If we go to nitpick,
get those fights to get objective.
Fair. I think honestly just waiting until you get special to start fights is huge. Aside from that, taking fights together, knowing which way your teammates are pushing, or like if you're the furthest one up, then make sure you're waiting for teammates to help. And you know, other things you already have like heard before, but there are situations. Waltilus? Like wall with Nautilus?
Like, Flounder Heights is literally the definition of in your walls.
Oh. Okay, that helps a bit. Alright, good luck. I think Nautilus is something that, like, if someone knows where you are, then it's a lot harder to pressure, so being sort of in your walls is good. But it's not like a brush where it can sort of move around on its own. Good ink strike. Fantastic. Good push up. Y'all gotta back up, like back behind. Lewis moved to the side and died. Toasty's far up, Corky is on the other side of the map. How is... You were saved by you. Pretty good positioning there. Good back. Actual content of ink back being used, Rolling Squids, impossible. Me, I'm sorry if my callouts are a bit forward. Oh. I think just helping out with the flank there is fine, just make sure that like you recognize that they're still respawning. Which, you know that, but you know. You're close to back. Yeah, that positioning, like, under the, sort of tent, it can be very unsafe just because Inkzuka or machine shots or fizzies or burst bombs can go just in that little compartment and hit you. So, dying twice when close to back is very unfortunate. And then they're just able to... Yep. The flank from the flanks that started it, and then the slight misplay. I think everyone started watching that.
Flashback is our main get out of jail card, and I use that horribly. I focus too much on that because everyone is not going to really take my space and let me go first. So that ends up being wasted. So I just go for it.
We were also dying a lot on that breakout.
Missiles.
With the missiles loose on it when you all were at advantage, everyone else moved back. I think that's the correct play on Hagglefish. You move to the side where the missiles paint part of you, your teammates' missiles behind you paint another part, so you're sort of forced to stay where you are, and then the opponents are respawning. So I think just moving back with your teammates is the best play there, because you can still hold from mid. And like in general, Hagglefish up that far is sort of unsafe. It's really good if you can take that, but it's not something that you need to have. As long as you have like your court or like the enemy's court, then you're in pretty good shape for the push. And especially just gives you more space to move around. One other thing, it was just unfortunate, that the deaths and disadvantage, because that's a map where that can actually be pretty good to get back in. I think it's just important to like the Inksuka, especially at the first time, that spot can just be very unsafe, because Machine can be watching that, burst bombs, fizzies. Even if it wasn't an Inksuka, which is an instant kill, it can still be just unsafe. So if you're that close to back, sometimes it can just be worth it to like not yet have your laser pointed at the enemy and just paint up for special. But I don't think Squid Roll is able to tank a Zuka shot directly. It has to be like an indirect. Yeah. Okay. Clem's Eel Tail. I can see why you're going B many here. Nautilus just isn't able to poke in as many places. And holding bridge is very important here, very visible when you're doing that. Good. Good poke. Loose call out if you're moving up. Quirky call out if you're in a fight left. Toxie, really good work on cleaning those up. Yumi can probably move up a bit here. Yep. Good on that. Call out if you hear tick marks. Unfortunate death there. When you hear 2 down, don't think... Like, on Eel Tail especially, don't think you can just hold mid with a roller around. Think back the hell up. Like, any picks you get there are still not worth it because you're not able to get it unless you somehow get 3 or 4. That's not happening against a team that's even against you. And then if you wipe, then this happens. Good crab. Fantastic call with the crab. It's unfortunate, Fezzy. Having everyone on top mid sort of means you're going to get hit by any AoE, so like Fling's like Machine. I don't know if Toasty should be there specifically because Junior doesn't do that much extra there. You can still chuck bombs from behind it or like under court. Good picks. You've got to clear out bridge still in order for you to be up. Okay, good work. Good calls. Toasty, you don't need to be holding if Yume's already taken the bridge. There are a lot of clams in mid you've sort of spammed in there. If you want bubble for a push, don't try to get it when you have ball and are scoring with that ball. It's just a bit too risky. 3 down, so really good fights there. I didn't actually say what was happening, but you got 3 down, so good passing of clams too. You could just go in with those ones probably. Okay, good. Fantastic push. Charge crab if you can, but listen to lose just back there. Your crab's more important than anything. Well, your crab's second most important than anything. Most important is holding that bridge because they're close to crab themselves. And crab on that place is genuinely hell to work against. Yep, good call. Just let it happen. Good bubble. I think it could have come out before the fight, like anticipating it. Call if you're moving up Toasty and trying to pinch. The missiles are going to be difficult to deal with. Good pick, good stamp. You've got it. They had a hammer. You could have pushed in that hard though. Like, you don't have the clams, that's fair. But I think if Luz is going in that far, at least being able to get paint around them so they can move around a bit. I think it's still a good call. But just because you don't need to push in doesn't mean you can't like poke forward to help your teammate until they back up. That said, you all are getting really good picks here. Good bursts. Good follow-up, Loose. Good follow-up. Just say if you're pushing up, because Corky could have followed up with that. That was just funny from Corky. Fantastic game. Y'all took a lot of good fights. Just call out Loose if you're going to be pushing up over bridge, because Corky could have helped you a bit more, and he backed up briefly, and that sort of, like, the quad could have been gotten a bit sooner, or more cleanly. You got 4 up front at the end, so I was just watching an overhead that whole game, so really good calls on just giving the crab space, and good like prolonging of the push. Also, Toasty, one thing, I think your call on like you don't need to push that hard, that was very correct. It's just seeing that Loose was pushing up forward with the stamp. I think making that call, but also like painting up front a little bit so that they have more of an exit path might be the play. Because if you sort of back up anyways, it's probably the better call, but it is abandoning your teammate. And so, I guess both of you making a bad move for a couple of seconds is better than one of you making the right move and one of you making the wrong move, expecting backup. So.
I think I'm good to do like 2 or 3 more games, and then I should probably
Same here, honestly.
Last one.
This is last one.
Yeah, I think y'all have definitely got. It's either y'all have gotten better as time has gone on, or like the comps are also looking a bit more close to meta, so that might be a part of it.
That's a little bit of part of it. We're also getting used to like how this team plays more aggressively, and also just like synergy of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is fair. This is fair.
Also, like, we're a pretty slow starting team.
That's why we normally scrim for an hour before any tournament, and even then around 1 or 2 or so.
Yeah, we do that.
I mean, hey.
I'm playing Splash.
What about Luna?
No, absolutely not.
Gotcha.
No, I like it. It just sucks here. At the toys, I played with all the friends. At one point, did you see Squid School's tier list video? Okay. It's a strong main weapon. The sub is meh, and potential is good. I'm playing Dove this time. Yeah.
All right. Decent start, just painting men. Good that you're not poking out that much. Corky, your position doesn't matter that much this early. You can be charging a crab, you can be charging a crab, you can be charging a crab. Now you have no crab, they have one, and they can make use of that. Oh, fantastic bomb. But yeah, just in neutral you really want crab at start if you're playing splash. If you're the only crab, that is. Okay, good. Good pick on that. Good call with the rain. Yo, they made the cloud better, so it's like only slightly it's slightly transparent, so you can actually see what's happening. That's so poggers. Luce is alone right now. Call for help. Decent trade, all things considered. Good.
That's why I don't like this map. Once you drop, there's no way out except jumping.
A few things from that. Really good, first of all. Your fights were amazing. Your bombs were fantastic, Toasty. At the start, if you have a splash and you're the only crab, do not die with crab at the start. Your fights are not nearly as important as having crab in neutral, because they almost got a push from that if Toasty's bomb didn't kill that crab immediately. Second thing, near the end, you were a bit alone, Luz. First of all, back up the zone a bit so you can paint it if they are able to retake slightly. Second off, calling for help if you want paint around you or a backup. Like, if you want paint, just say, hey, paint around me. Or like, I'm on... Just calling out your position like, I'm on right, that can mean a lot. Because sometimes Toasty can be on left with Corky and then just think, oh wait, how's the paint looking over there? It's not painted? I'm going to look over there. It's now painted because I'm a junior. But like overall a good trade on the Flingsa. I think just with a bit more paint to work with, you know, it happens though. Still a really good game. Those are like the only things I can pick out. You all played really solidly.
Make sure to send Fish
I did.
Okay, GG's and yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, of course.
I do have a question though.
Yeah.
So, on our team, it's paint negative, paint negative, paint negative, paint positive.
Yep. Tosi, I'm honestly glad you don't die as much as Battle Juniors do,
I
because
used to die a lot. I used to
oh my god.
Like, oh my god.
Oh my god, you should have seen me last 2 weeks.
Freaking 9 deaths per game.
It was awful.
9 death sap.
I have learned a lot.
Nice.
Do you think that there's ways to make it?
Okay. First off, let's compare the comps. Paint negative, paint negative, paint negative, paint positive against a machine paint neutral, a flings up paint positive, a splash paint hella positive, and a second splash paint hella positive. You're going to be struggling for paint. The one thing that Nautilus needs to work around is paint. The one thing that like Carbon or Luna need to work around is paint. So one, it's well, especially if they have a junior, it's pretty much impossible for Tosi to outpaint them, or if they have 2 splashes. So it's like, if you were fighting an uphill battle, is the main thing. Like, if you're put against someone even, and they have a comp that has a lot more paint than you, they can paint around where they need the Nautilus to not be looking, or just go where Toasty isn't able to paint, and then push forward with that. So I think it's definitely, like, if y'all want to do that, best of luck, but it's just kind of painful. I genuinely think, like, a machine at least is needed with a junior in order for not to even slightly be able to work. I like Mini, but I do think that Nautilus is probably one of Luce's strengths, because Rain is really good for, like, having that paint control when you need it. I think Rain works a bit better with, like, your playstyles as well, than Stamp does, because Stamp's also just Stamp. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, I think it's just like with Charger, it doesn't really paint at all. Like, I've seen some top Chargers switching to Flingza because it's just that's fair. Okay, but race spam in a game. What? Interesting. What did you run instead? Please tell me you had at least one missile. Huh. I mean, Firefin can work. Like, Bomb Rush is really... For comps like you need paint, so honestly, Firefin works better for your comps than B-Charger does. I'm not gonna lie. But... I think another thing to think about is just, like, Crab is just such... Crab and Bomb are just such good specials for getting control and area of paint, and, like, just, hey, opponent, don't be here or you will die if you exist here. Thank you. Bye. But I think, like, machines seem to be working pretty well. It's still a bit lacking on paint, but at least not having 2 weapons that need paint around it is good. Because Charger sort of holds its own, so it doesn't really need paint around it. It's more like just a pressuring tool. And like it wants paint in front of it to be safe, sure, but like that's sort of gotten by all of you being pushed up. So I guess. How do you feel about Splat Dualies, Corky, out of curiosity?
I played it. I used to be one of my mains in Splatoon 2. In this game, I haven't touched it in a while, but when I did, it felt awkward because there was significantly less cover to use. So I just kept getting shot in the end line. And I'm not sure if that's like mechanics or the map. I was literally just thinking about that right now, like what other paint positive or crab buoy or whatnot do I have?
Yeah, I think like as far as crab goes, there's L3 which don't use L3. There's Splash which splash. There's Dually, and then there's Worse Forge.
L3 is my favorite crab weapon.
Interesting. Honestly, and in that case, I might suggest L3.
Really?
Because like
Yeah, because okay, weird take, but L3 and not
yeah, L3 and not pair similarly to L3 and Splash, where like they have similar paint. It's really just the sub for L3 isn't nearly as good as Burst Bomb, which is just sad. It's Curling Bomb. Oh, that's painful. You have 6 shots after Curling Bomb. So maybe Subsaver will be worth it to invest in.
I have a build
you don't have to run
somewhere.
MPU anymore, so probably shovel on.
Yeah.
I think I had like
A main of like Intensify is probably good for the jump RNG.
Also,
I care about the jump RNG.
I do not.
Also, I would heavily recommend maybe Object Shredder if you want a single crab just for other crabs in the crab metagame. I hate that that even needs to be. This meta is so stupid.
Where it's just like a crowd rave facing off against another crowd rave. Like literally just
Everyone, what are your thoughts
Yeah.
on like actually changing weapon physical stocks to
What do you mean? Okay. We'll be seeing T-Tech. Or we'll be seeing like I think yeah, machine is very good, but I think it's okay right now.
Yeah.
It's mostly just it benefits from the very slow metagame that's having to be played with triple splash running around and all these crabs. Like everyone on the opposing team has to stay back because there are 3 crabs. Everyone on your team has to stay back because there are 3 crabs. Machine likes people who are staying back. So, and Bomb sort of deals with crabs. So, I think out of this meta, it will be still really good. You can make comps around it. And like you can sort of slap it on, but it's not something like Splash. It's not something like K-Shot where it's like, wow, this thing is good. Or like Tri-Slosher at the start of Splatoon 2 where it's just like, ah, this has way too much everything. Feel like nothing changed at all, but if you close your eyes. Yeah. They did not need to bring missiles back, but I think paint negative, paint negative, paint negative, paint positive will probably be very difficult, almost impossible to work on a top level idea. like on a top level setting that won't work. Nautilus can probably work once crabs are out of the question. It's already like pretty decent. It's a good main weapon. It's hella good. Point sensors work okay with it, and rain is good for it. It's just rain is a bit passive, especially compared to things like crab. So in the crab meta, it sort of doesn't give as much oomph as teams might want. I think Blaster, it's another weapon that's very selfish with how it plays. Like it wants support and to sort of go in and go nuts. I don't know if that's how you want to play with Loose on the team, because Nautilus is sort of a weapon that does the same thing. The thing about low paint meta is it's countered by high paint meta. Like we sort of figured this out in Splat 2. Like no paint in a comp, just get kills, lol, is countered by just don't die, lol, and paint the floor so they can't move. But also, like, the meta, quote-unquote, is just the easiest thing to get results with. One, it's in theory, like, easiest thing to get results with doesn't mean the best thing or the only thing to get results with. Like, there are teams with Splatlings that are getting results, teams with Splatanas, Tetras, those aren't meta, but they're hella viable.
It's just that Blaster
I
plus
think...
Nautilus isn't viable.
Yeah, there's a difference between, like, not meta, but still good in theory, and Jesus Christ, I don't know how you're going to not die, Tosi, but good luck.
Get a issue, calm down. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Echo, question.
Answer.
You know iTap?
iTap? Yeah.
In this
Or wait,
He's the back
iTap at...
of iTap.
elaborate.
They were the people that taught me competitive Splatoon. I see something that's like people would say impossible. I'm like, okay, I'll try to fight it. So like this talk is just made like in my head. It's like, okay, it seems impossible. How
Not
can I
range
make this work?
Not range pass.
The issue right now is the meta's just so strong. We're still trying to figure out how to counter it, and we're getting there. Like, we're definitely getting there. Like we're rapidly improving in my opinion. But
I think we should try Short Expo again just 'cause it's funny.
I think Expo works pretty well with your comp,
Yeah.
first of all. It's like paint neutral to paint positive.
Expo
Overall.
Wow, beautiful.
what are you?
It's...
Is that just it?
No, I said I like X-Flow better than
I heard I like Expo, but...
I just heard Expo.
Expo, that's the tweet. But yeah, I think Expo can be good with your comps. It's just Blaster plus not really needs two paint positive weapons if it wants to succeed. And generally those weapons move up but want support. Having two weapons that move up and can give support, like a junior and shot or a junior and splash or two splashes. Like I've played in a pickup with that, and that's how we got third in Squid Junction. Like, yeah, that sort of thing. Like, I've played in like me being Splash, having another junior. I think it was Radish's, Skip being Blaster, and then Daybreak being Nautilus, and that's worked pretty well.
Just not backline in that case.
What is it?
Just not backline in that case.
Yeah, no backline, because if you have two weapons that need paint, having something that stays back doesn't really help you that much, because the Blaster and Nautilus, they're going to move so quickly that they cannot keep up. They can't really do that much to support. So, and it's not a thing of like the player just needs to get better lol. It's just like the comp wants to move at a fast tempo. So it's either like those weapons have to sacrifice their momentum to wait for the backline to catch up, or they have to just sort of say, okay, we're playing a 3v4 for a little bit.
Yeah.
When like if you have something like a splash or even a zap, you can maybe make something work. But I just wonder if there's any like it's just Blaster needs so much support, as does Nautilus, that I really don't think like I think you could like win low ink with a comp that's like Blaster Nautilus Splash Explo. Or Junior Explo, I'm sorry, I forgot Dosi plays Junior and not Splash. Which
Get the crap
honestly,
out of your head.
it's all I play at this point. Well, that and Machine, but you know. It's just yeah, Luna has Fizzy, but it doesn't want to be throwing Fizzies because it doesn't want its location to be known. And then like Nautilus also doesn't want its location to be known. It's ranged, but like its benefit is really just its DPS and being able to delete people. But it can only delete people if people don't know it's there. And so if you have two weapons that are just sharking, you have Toasty up and you have the charger up and you have two people sharking not painting at all against three splashes and a flings that are just holding backwards, charging missile, and three different crabs to all just it just pain. And I think with a backline dedicated, L3 I would definitely recommend trying out. If you have fun playing it, because like it has a bit more range than Splash. It can't deal with burst bombs that well because it doesn't paint its feet as well as something else.
Actually, quick question.
But yeah,
Enrique, are your hands like okay now enough to play L3? Because I know that requires a lot of tap shotting. I don't want you to like break yourself.
None of my hands ever been not okay. Like genuinely much so.
When you're complaining that you burn yourself and cut
Oh,
yourself,
okay.
Didn't you,
Okay,
like,
that's a
burn
different
your-
story. That's a different story. I have wished.
oh no.
5 hours of not playing Squid today. I'm fine.
okay, cool.
Are you
I
really
just
fine
didn't want to
with
like.
playing Splatoon for 5 hours?
Oh hush.
Hey Corky, you like weapons that are generally not used in the meta. How do you feel about Nova?
I love Nova.
See, I've been wanting
Hold
to
on.
try Nova on the comp.
What if
Like, it's a
I
matter
played
of...
Nova? Genuine question.
See,
What is it?
we've discussed this, where it's like, I want to try Nova on the comp, but who the fuck on the team plays Nova? Because, like, if you play it, we kind of lose paint, and then if Enrique plays it,
No, it still
or I
paints
play it,
really well in my opinion.
No.
No.
It doesn't paint enough to paint for 3 people.
Oh, well, yeah, I just meant like it's still.
Well, 4 people if you include the charger.
Yeah. Because I feel like either North or a Blaster plus Nova plus Junior plus backline.
I think Nova works really well with leader to mark people, so they have to back up for it. It also works well with weapons that delete people, so either not or Blaster. I don't know how well it works with Junior. The thing is, Whale also helps displace people, which can be taken advantage of by not or Blaster. How do you feel about Gal? Either of you?
See, that's what I was thinking. I think me and Enrique should both give Nova a shot and see what happens.
I want to lab tomorrow.
Actually,
I'm up for
how do you feel about Tri-Stringer, Emily? Okay, if you haven't pressed it, it's like it's not a weapon where I would recommend like learning it from the ground up unless you've already like tapped into it. Because like we're not having a charger Tri-Stringer comp, no way in hell. Okay, so you're like another team I coach. Let's see. thought you were saying like you were picking up links, and I was like, who are you and where is Toasty? How do you feel about like Enrique, how do you feel about like V-Slosh?
V-Slosh, I'm fine.
I think V-Slosh might be okay. It's a bit awkward with Nautilus, but
That's the main thing that was holding me back from playing it in the first place. Because I like the weapon, I think it's good. Like, not as good as Machine, but it's still really good.
yeah, it's still like something that can be used. I think it can get results. It's just like one compared to Machine, it doesn't really have like it doesn't have Fizzy, it doesn't have Booyah Bomb.
Yep.
And then like with Nautilus, it can be a bit awkward to paint or get paint because like it's not exactly paint negative, but it does want things that can paint around it. Because like it paints okay at a mid-range, but not close to it. So it pairs well with things like Splash or Shot that sort of paints its feet or like fills in the gaps. So like Slosha can paint in front of them, while they can paint around Slosh. I think aside from that,
Any other weird weapons that you can think of that might work?
let's see. So T-Tech you played a little bit. Squeezer isn't exactly paint negative, but it's also a bit too midliney for Corky to play. I think Loose could try it, but eh. Okay. Yep. Don't play it then. Don't play it then. Don't play it then.
Nah, I dropped it just because it was slipping out my hand.
Yo, Corky, do you paint? How about Big Swig?
She likes Big Swing.
Don't play it. I could also see Tri-Slasher working.
I do not like Tri-Slasher.
Well, okay, good. It seems like it will be awkward or hard to work around, so I don't want to coach that. Let's see. V-Dualies or L3. Inkbrush just doesn't paint around itself enough. It needs things that paint. Actually, hold on. Wiper. Wiper.
Yeah,
We've thought about that.
I think the main thing is like Wiper can sometimes play like a Tetra, and so with a Nautilus, that's not exactly what you want all the time. But like it can, if you play like a more passive one, then it can maybe work. But yeah, I think so as far as what Loose plays, is it Nautilus and Forge right now? Many is in me up. Can't believe I forgot those. Okay, I can. How do you feel about CDS? Main power. Yep. I think that could be something to try since it's pretty paint positive. Or like, not as positive as like Splash, but enough to work with Junior and Blaster. Because it also like, Dualies can support really well where it like diverts attention. It's sort of the opposite of Nautilus where you want people to look at you and then the Blaster can finish it off. So I think that could have some synergy. So I guess that's probably the main thing. I think aside from that, your weapon pool should stay sort of narrow because the Nautilus is so specific with how you play it. And Mini, like you have a pretty good set of weapons there. So,
Question.
yeah.
This is brief.
Why not play it passively? If you're playing it aggressively, just use Swiffer or Slatana. They're... Then why not use Slingza? I think another thing is, like, you and Tosi will be competing for paint, first of all. And, like, missiles also don't help you get back in as much as something like Booyah Bomb from Machine, or even Stamp from Luna. And not having a good bomb kind of sucks. I honestly can't wait until Squiffer gets a kit that's not just Junior, and when Reflux gets a kit that's not just Flainza. Because I think both of them are sort of, like, well, you could use them, but weapons. It genuinely, yeah. Like, there's no armor, so it... Like, as they say on the stream, Leotos would love that. Wait, actually, they retired. Did they retire? I don't know, and honestly, I don't care enough about them. I just wanted to say Leotos, I'm not gonna lie. Because that's just happened so much. Zipcast on Squiff, that would be... Wow, that's a... If it's on any charger, it should be on Squiff. Instead of, like, Leader or Bamboo. But, man, that would be interesting. Zipcast Squeeze... I don't like Zipcast on Squeeze. I think it's good being, like, a midline instead of a zip around kind of weapon. That's fair. Yeah. I honestly, I think Zipcast is the only way Dynamo will be salvaged at this point. Like, Zipcast Dynamo, like, I think, like, anything else, it's going to get outclassed. But oh my god, if a Dynamo can do that, then maybe it has a shot. Because, like, just imagine a Dynamo suddenly being up close to you. You can't run away from it. It's in a place where, like, you can't actually, like, avoid it. It's just there, and you're dead. And, like, it would also give it a way to get into backliner's range. Oh my god. But, like... Hey, Saya, yes, I am so gaming. I am so tired. But, don't... Not the carbon. Oh. Yes, Carbon Deco has burst among Inksuka.
What are y'all's thoughts on the last one?
Thoughts on what?
I love that thing.
Which weapon is it? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Spray?
Spray... It doesn't have a spammable special enough. Yet. Thing is, Machine exists, and, like, if you want Booyah, you want something that can push up with it, and Spray cannot push up. It has Fizzy. Like, I think if it had, like, Fizzy Missile, it would be good. It would be great. with Aerospray, you need a spammable special and a good sub. Because the main weapon can paint, that's about it. This is true. But, like, if it's spammable, like, triple ink strike, maybe, if that... I don't know. It's just it's just sad. Yeah, it's a weapon that, like, you paint with it, and you paint with it and avoid the opponent, and flank with it, and then paint with it. Please tell me did I go into X rank? Please don't tell me that. Okay, this is just series. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like Zip Pass is definitely something that, like, it can only get better as the meta progresses. With how it is right now. Not great. Aimbrush Nouveau, I just wish it didn't have mine. Like, Stamp sort of does the same thing as it, but I can see why they gave it to it. I just wish they gave Stamp to a Range Blaster instead of Luna. Oh! Man, I didn't do anything there. That was so close to being good. I'm sorry. I'd say week until where you can practice more would be good. It's also like... Yeah. I think, just practicing it in, like, solo couldn't hurt, though. Nice. On L3? What? Wait. Huh. Yeah, that would help. Wow. Wait, how long have you played the game? How many hours do you have? That'll do it. I mean, I have like 400, so I'm no better, but you know. No. Only 340 after 4 months into being out. Let's go. Huh. I mean, it's also like... There's a difference between practicing more and practicing efficiently. Yeah. Ow. Ow. Yeah, random series, random X, salmon run, which I have over like 900 shifts with. But I mean, salmon run's also like a good awareness check, so. It's just like, you need to be aware of a lot for salmon run to work. It's just what you need to be aware of is different. There's less to be aware of, but knowing where to look is huge. I mean, you can't, like, throw clams, so. Good night, Toast. Oh, he's out of his seat. Man. Oh my god. What? Bad special. Bad special. Bad special. I'm using a hammer weapon right now. See ya. Oh, whoops. I got a kill. Okay. I'll head RVC as well, so see you all.
Thank you for coaching. That was really helpful, actually.
Anytime, thanks. Thanks for letting me stop by for the day. Yeah. Anytime. Have a good night and best of luck with playing weird weapons.
Thank you.
Also, wait, you played Smash, right? Ness or Neat. Neat.
Quite competitive, but I can still play.
I see, I see. Have you won to any locals, by the way? Or by chance?
Actually not. I'm in NC. I used to go to multiple locals.
I see. Fair enough.
If you want to play, just hit me up. If I'm not playing Splatoon, I'll probably play.
Fair, fair. Yeah, I just I play Inkling, so, and have went to a few locals in my area, so. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. Have a good night. See ya. Alright, we're doing one more, and then... Alright. So once again with Viper, we have 2 of them, so I can hold forward a bit less. I say as I hold forward more than I did last game. Okay. So... Okay, nice. Jeez. Wow, that was a jump with hammer. Oh my god. No way. Get back. I'm probably the traitor. That was dumb. Super 2. Ow. Didn't hold the left first. No. Thought teammates had it, but they just backed. Up, machine is playing with anger. camera doesn't even one-shot that out. I love this special. Man, I have looked over there, but looking is not enough. Don't go in with their plans, it is not worth it. Good idea, I guess, but man, not worth it. What the? 2 entire whales on me, nice. I'll take it. Nice. Ow. Bad. So now we just... Alright. That is... Splatoon 3 for the Nintendo Switch. Alright. I'll be going now. Thank you all for sticking around. And I will see you all next stream.